Imagine you own a house, but you forgot to install a front door. The mailman, your neighbours, random strangers. They all just walk straight into your living room to ask for things. In the software world, if you let users talk directly to your database or your backend servers, that is exactly what happens. It is unsafe, it is chaotic, and it will crash your system. You need a front door, you need a bouncer, you need the AWS API Gateway. Today, we are going to break down the 5 core concepts you need to know: the gateway, REST, resources, sources, and stages. First, what is the gateway? Think of it as the reception desk for your application. It sits between the user, the client, and your code, the backend. It handles the traffic, it checks IDs, security, and it routes messages so your backend servers can focus on just doing their job. But how do you talk to this receptionist? You need a common language. That is the REST API. Think of the REST API as a restaurant menu. You can't just walk in and scream random words. You have to order using standard commands. Get, read data. Post, create data. Delete, remove data. Now, where do these orders go? That brings us to resources. Resources are the paths in your API. If your website is a house, resources are the specific rooms. You might have a resource for users to handle account info or products to handle your inventory. The gateway looks at the path and knows exactly where to send the user. So the gateway takes the order, REST, for a specific room, resource, but who actually cooks the food? That is the source. The source is your actual backend logic. In AWS, this is usually a Lambda function, a piece of code that wakes up, runs a database query, and goes back to sleep. Now, the gateway doesn't do the work, it just tells the source to do it. Now, here is a problem. Let's say you want to update your code, you want to change the menu. Do you test that change on your live customers? No, you'd break everything. This is where stages come in. A stage represents a snapshot or a version of your API. It allows you to have multiple versions of your API running at the same time. You can have a dev stage for testing new features and a prod stage for your real customers. You deploy your changes to the dev stage first. If it works, then you push it to the prod stage. Stages are what separate the professionals from the amateurs. They keep your users safe while you experiment in the background. So, why do we need all these moving parts? Because without them, your application is just a house with no door. The gateway protects you, resources organize you, and stages ensure you never break your live app by accident. Last, what is method? In the context of AWS API Gateway and REST APIs in general, a method defines the specific action you want to perform on a resource. In the context of AWS API Gateway and REST APIs in general, a method defines the specific action you want to perform on a resource. If the resource is the noun, the object you're interacting with, like chart user data, the method is the verb, what you want to do to it. Think of it like a file system. Resource, the file itself, method. What do you do to that file? Do you want it to read it, write to it, or delete it? In the Cloud Goat Lab, you are likely looking for a get method, but here are the standard ones you will see in API Gateway. Get, retrieve data, e.g., give me the flag. This is what you need for the lab. Post, create new data, e.g., here is a new user. Put, update existing data. Delete, remove data. Any, a special AWS catch-all that allows any HTTP verb to pass through.
Here is our keys. Let's copy and paste that into our notes. So this is the starting point. So let's go back to configure that out. AWS configure profile SNS. Okay, let's put our keys in. Put our access key and our secret key. and region would be US East 1, and the format is JSON. Now let's run a command to see who we are. Get caller identity. Hope I didn't spell it wrong this time. Yep, we got our identity. Let's copy and paste that into our notes. So this is who we are, and so what we do next, I think we're gonna run Pacu. Let's do new session, and what we call this new section will be SNS, and we do import keys to our SNS, and we run a who am I to see is it imported correctly. Yes, we are. So now we can do a search SNS. That'll be the topic we can run in Pacu. So let's do SNS. Let's do help SNS, what they can do here. So in this SNS email module, we'll attempt to list and guard information from simple notification service topics. So we can just put regions in. So we can do the SNS enumeration US East 1 is running the scans. So now they've found one topic. But what is that topic? If I do data, will it tell us? Yes. So let's copy that into our notes. So we copy and paste it. So we know. So let's have a look. So we don't need these. I just run data session, data important keys, ID 2. I think we can just delete this. We found one topic which is imported these keys and is created that day. True name agents or SNS. This is wonderful. So now we can go back to our terminal and do the other. So we can do a subscribe, see what they do. So we'll attempt to subscribe to this topic via an email address. So we can just do topics. Okay, so if we do run SNS subscribe, and put our topics in. Topics would be topic ARN would be this one, which we listed out. And we need to put our email in, which my email would be let's run this. So the subscribe is successful, and we can go back. Let's copy that to our notes, and we can now. So we are now subscribed to this topic, and there will be notification will be sent to our email. And if we go to our email, here's my email here. I got a notification. We've been chosen to subscribe to this topic. And I think if we could wait for a couple of minutes, there should be an email that came through with the API Gateway keys. I think it will take a couple of minutes. Maybe let's just wait for it. We can go back to our terminal. Maybe we could try to see if Pacu have API Gateway section. Oh yes, they do have API Gateway sections. Let's see what this enumeration do. So for each API, this module enumerates available routes, methods, API keys, and the client qualifications, certificates, results, and Swagger functions will be explored to the section download directory. If we just run this section, will it actually do anything? Fail. Information now. Let's see if we got the API key. Oh, why we still not got API key? Do I need to confirm? Yes, I think I do need to confirm it. Now, I've confirmed the subscription. No, I'll just go back. I think I just need to wait a little bit longer. Wait for the API keys to come through. Oh, here we go. We found our API Gateway keys, which is here. Now we can copy and paste that into our notes. Which is here. So we finally got it. So now what is our final mission is use this API key to access API Gateway for the final flag. How to access the API Gateway? I don't know. Just let's do some research, I think. How to access AWS API Gateway. So API Gateway to access it, you can use the public API endpoints via API. Stage URL. For private APIs, you need to configure the. Okay, so that is the URL we need to get. So let's go back our note, and I'm just gonna no, it should be 3. This URL, we need our API ID. Let's paste that. So the API ID, we'll go back to our REST API. That's our ID. See, oh no, go back down, paste it here, and the region would be US East 1. And the stage name. So we need to go to our stage. Stage name. Let's try that. What's happening now? Message me missing authentication token. Maybe we could do a token there, which we normally do is X. Is it the X API key, which we can our API keys in, See if that works. Does not look like a header message. A header, HTTP header. Oh, I see. Maybe we should have. Is this headers? Right, and we go back to the. Maybe we could just go to ask our best friend, AI. So I'm running cloud code. Sounds like it needs to be what AWS API Gateway. The access to the flag. The region and play so far. We need HTTP. I think we just delete this. So HTTP S API ID execute API US is 1 dot Amazon and stage name. We got the stage name here, and we also need the path, the source path, the resource path. The resource path is user data. Endpoint. If we could, so what is the correct command? Is xget. Okay, let's clear this out. Let's redo it. It's going to be co x get. Oh, no, not that one. Need to go back to copy that. What it comes back? Message forbidden. Now I think we need to add our X with either X H. H is for header. H. That is for, what is that? XAPI key. Is it capital? No, it's not. Fine. And let's go back to copy API key. Could not receive. Send the host. What's this mean? Why could it not receive? Do I need the... Do I need all the... this as well? It's not doing anything? What's it going on? Yeah, we've got our flag!